Church with real miracle stories, and we have Sunday service, Wednesday Bible study, Women's Fellowship, Men's Fellowship, and Kids Flip Night. Get right with God. Come to beaminghope.org. I'll see you here with miracle stories.
Miracle, a true blue miracle, a miracle come true.
Initialize sequence now.
Join the countdown for actors, modeling, singers, songwriters, musicians, dancers, performers, and voiceovers from across the nation to across the world. Here with Dawn Reese on Hollywood Connections on Tam Talk Radio 106.1 FM.
Hi, this is Pam Tillis, and you're listening to Hollywood Connection with Dawn.
Hi, I'm Gina Lee Nolan, and you're listening to Hollywood Connections.
Hey, everyone. I'm Cassie Skirbo with Dawn, the lovely Dawn, and you're listening and watching Hollywood Connection.
Hey, what up, you guys? It's your girl, Vivica Fox. You are watching Hollywood Connections on Tam Talk Radio with Dawn. Little foxy thing. Enjoy.
Hi, you're listening to Hollywood Connections with Dawn Reese, and I'm Kathleen Gatty from General Hospital, Dr. Liesl Obrecht.
Hello, I'm Butch Patrick, and you're listening to Dawn Reese's Tan Talk Radio, Hollywood Connections.
John Snyder, you're listening to Dawn Reese on Hollywood Connection.
Hey, this is Jason Thompson from The Young and the Restless. You're listening to Hollywood Connections with Dawn Reese.
Hi, Squidward Tentacles here, reminding you about Hollywood Connections with Dawn Reese. If you want to know about voiceovers, this is where you need to tune in. You can hear me too. Have a great day. Is this thing still on?
Hey, this is Brittany Sarpy from Young and the Restless, and you are listening to Dawn Reese Hollywood Connection.
Hey, this is your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, and you're listening to Hollywood Connections with Dawn Reese. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Charlie Adler, and I'm shouting out, I guess that's a word, because I'll be on Hollywood Connection soon.
Welcome to Hollywood. What's your dream? Everybody comes here. This is Hollywood, land of dreams. Some dreams come true, some don't, but keep on dreaming. This is Hollywood. Always time to dream, so keep on dreaming.
Hi, I'm Dawn with SunkissCharters.com. We have a private pontoon boat. We do dolphin sightseeing. We have fishing poles, fishing license. We have all the snorkeling equipment, island hopping. You can bring your own food and your own alcohol. We always have a cooler with chip soda and water on board. $125 an hour, 2 hour minimum. If you'd like to go to Caladisi Sandbar, it's $400 for 3 hours. And we also have a 42-foot Regal that you can take out in the Gulf of Mexico with your own captain. Come on and make memories with your family and friends. We are pet friendly. SunkissCharters.com, 727-871-7788. Hi, and welcome to Miracle Stories and Hollywood Connections. And I am so excited because I have a special VIP guest in the house, and also Captain Tom as well. And we've got so many things to talk about. A couple weeks ago, I had Mama Ali here, and she was married to Muhammad Ali. And Aaron is here. And oh my gosh, Aaron, introduce yourself, who you are.
Well, my name is Aaron Snowbell. They call me the Hall of Fame trainer of champions. I've trained many boxing champions in the sport of boxing. I'm also a boxing historian.
Yeah, and you got an award last time.
Oh, yes, we did.
And what was the award? Yes.
Well, yes, it's a Lifetime Achievement Award at the time.
Yes.
Joe Biden was in office, and he gave me the Lifetime Achievement Award, but in 2019, Donald Trump gave me one too.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Oh my gosh. And I want to thank Mama Ali for the opportunity to meet you. And we had such a great time with her book signing and everything here. And we're looking forward to having her back this spring for another book signing very soon.
Well, she's always, I know her since I was a kid.
How did you two meet first?
Well, we met at the training facility in Muhammad Ali's training camp in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania, when her and her husband, the great Muhammad Ali, were coming there to visit to build a training camp.
Oh.
And that's where I met her.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to talk about Captain Tom, I know, has a lot of fun things as well. And he's going to talk to you about his boxing stories. And you brought a lot of memorabilia with you. I'm so excited. And then you're bringing a guest on here shortly. She's coming to the station.
Yeah, I hope she makes it on time on the show. But, next week in Pennsylvania, for Black History Month, the Fighters Heaven, we're doing Black History Month celebration.
Okay.
John Madden, who was the coach of the Oakland Raiders, the Madden game and all of that, the anchor person.
Wow.
His son brought Muhammad Ali's training camp, and it's now called the Fighters Heaven.
Wow.
And every year we do special events all around, and I'm going to show
Yes.
you the documents when we got Muhammad Ali's training camp for the great fights, the Thriller in Manila and the Rumble in the Jungle, when he trained there.
Wow.
How we got his facility put on the historic roster. So I have those documents too from the state of Pennsylvania.
What? Oh my God.
What we did, and we'll be going. You know, Ali's camp is like a historical place.
That is super exciting. And tell us about your guest that's coming in.
Yeah, well, Nichelle Harris, she is.
I think she's here.
Yeah,
Is she
I
here? Come on
think
in.
she's here. She's coming in.
Yes.
Yeah, better late than never.
Yes,
as I
you can
all
bring
the time
that chair
say.
over there, and you can pull it next to
Yeah,
you. And we'll show you can hear.
It's always better late than never, but it's always good to be on time, no matter what you're doing. But however, she's here, and she's right here. This is Nichelle Harris, and she is vice president with Synchrony Financial, and she's also ahead of the chiropractic industry for them.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
That's a busy lady. Oh my goodness. Wow. So we're here. Captain Tom, you want to ask Aaron your first question?
Yeah, I do have a question. What did you think of Will Smith doing Ali in the movie? How did you like that movie?
I think Will Smith nailed it. Not only did he walk alike, but he talked alike, and Muhammad Ali himself liked it. So that that was just amazing thing that he did. But people forget Muhammad Ali played himself in his own movie called The Greatest.
Yeah,
I believe the children are the future. If you remember that, called the movie called The Greatest.
Right.
And so Nichelle, great uncle, is the great Jersey Joe Walcott.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's fabulous. So, and also too, is we're going to come and talk to you about your career and all the, you brought some stuff along too, or?
Aaron brought a lot of different things.
Oh,
a magazine that we were working on from last year.
Oh,
We
here's
can
a
talk little
microphone.
bit about that.
Yeah, we're going to share.
Yeah.
And so, I saw the Ali documentary. Are you any a part of that? It was a black and white. There was a lot of like his life. It was just on, it's on one of the streaming channels. Were you in that at all?
Yeah, a lot of documentaries about Muhammad Ali. I'm in.
Okay.
Number one, Legendary Nights. With him and Larry Holmes.
Okay.
I played myself. I'm in there with actual footage.
Oh, really?
Yes, cool. me and Tim Witherspoon. So there's a lot of things about Muhammad Ali when I was a kid. People caught the footage, and a lot of people see the kids in there because we were part of the Ali gang at the time. They don't realize it's me.
Okay.
In there, I had a big afro and all of that. So
oh my gosh.
We were part of that Ali gang, and part of that Ali gang, we got to do a lot of great things, as Mama Ali told you.
Yes.
Here.
Wow. And now you've got a
You're
memorabilia.
definitely history makers.
Yeah. This history memorabilia thing. This is us. We were part of the Muhammad Ali gang, and this is the album cover. I told you before, St. John's ice cream is good to eat, fills your stomach and save your teeth.
Oh.
Hey, kids, our next big fight is tooth decay. This was the album covers.
Whoa.
And this is Frank Sinatra with us, part of the Ali gang. This is the Ali gang poster with the T-shirts. This was the advertising toothbrush that we did. And this here was in 1994, when he was getting ready to fight the Rumble in the Jungle. He came to my middle school, and this is the flyer that when he came there, he put on the exhibition, as we talked about with Mama Ali there.
Right.
About Larry Holmes only had 9 professional fights at that time.
Interesting.
And I was a kid in the videos and things like that, what happened and how it transpired. But yeah, a lot of things that we did as a kid. And as I grew up learning the trade, learning the business, I'm in different segments and times of my life. But Muhammad Ali, without a doubt, is the greatest of all times. And he touched any and everybody's has a story, like I all the time say.
Right.
If you say you met Muhammad Ali, and if you don't have a Muhammad Ali story, you really did meet Muhammad Ali.
I got a Muhammad Ali story.
Tell us.
You do, yeah.
When I was a little kid, believe it or not, as Aaron said, I'm Jersey Joe Walcott's great niece. My grandmother and him were brother and sister siblings. And one day, my mom, because I'm originally from South Jersey, my mom took us to Muhammad Ali's house in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, literally.
Right.
Just pulled up to the driveway, and there was a kid walking down, and she says, "Excuse me, can you please take my little girl up to see the champ?" And he said, "Oh, lady," he said, "just go on up there and see the champ. They'll let her in," and blah, blah, blah. She said, "Oh, no, please, it's all right." So me, at I guess I must have been about 7 years old, went up to the champ's house, never came back for a long time. Little boy went in, we all just talked and laughed, and they were showing us all around the house. And my mom just knocked on the door, said, "Kid's here," and said, "Yeah, come on in." I mean, he didn't even know that we were Jersey Joe Walcott's relatives or anything like that. Just so warm and inviting, and it was just really a great memory as you start talking about the things that you've done and the people that you've experienced. Who would ever think something like that happened?
Well, he was definitely the king of showmen. I mean, there's just nobody who came close to him. And I remember everything when I was a kid. I remember the songs that I would play over and over, the 45s. I was a huge Muhammad Ali fan, huge. And as a little kid, I was. Just because he razzle-dazzled. I mean, that was his thing. But I do have a question. And because I'm actually going to be doing a radio show here called The Next Level. It's a show coming soon. And but as The Next Level, as one of the trainers, what did you want to install into Ali's mind before a fight?
Well, I can speak from a young experience when I was a kid. Muhammad Ali used to give us training lessons at night.
Oh, wow.
In his gym in Deer Lake, where I'm going to do this Black History event next Saturday. He used to tell us about training, the mindset, and the things that you need to be good and great in the disciplines that it took to be that. So when he was getting ready for George Foreman, everybody thought George Foreman was going to annihilate him. Okay,
George is a solid guy.
Yeah, and they had a lot of doubt. So me and my brother, my younger brother, who was part of the Ali gang. Now Ali's been training us all this time. So we were sitting.
How old were you about?
I was around about maybe 14 years old.
Wow.
And when he came outside with a lot of people following him, we were sitting on the big rocks that surround the camp, and it got all of these great fighters' names on the rocks. So he comes walking over to me and my brother. We're sitting there. He says, "These people think that I'm gonna get whooped. Is George Foreman gonna whoop me?" We said, "No." He said, "Why he ain't gonna whoop me?" Now he already done prepped this training at night. Yeah. "Well, you're the greatest." He said, "Tell him again, you're the greatest, and you can't be whooped." So what Ali did, after that, he was walking around. Ali played the psych game not only with other people, but with himself too.
Right.
He psyched himself up that he could really beat George Foreman, and he talked about it every day, what he was going to do in the ring. Muhammad Ali was just one of those athletes that God gives you something. He was a natural. So he put myself in the rap video with him as a youngster, me and him rapping back and forth at the camp. And I'm talking about round number 10, he's going to start all over again. And I talked about what he was going to do in the George Foreman fight, and he went and pulled it off in that fight.
Oh my gosh.
And I have the video and the footage of all of that, like all the pictures, that go along with it. Now, this is one of the documents and some of the documents from the Fighters Heaven that when we put it on the historical roster with Mike Madden, who's the owner, myself, Tim Witherspoon, and all of us with the Pennsylvania Historical Society. This is what was given to me for memorabilia in 2023 when we put this on the historic roster at the camp.
Whoa.
And
is the camp still going on?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. And these things at the camp next week, I have the Jack Johnson exhibit that we talked about, and Muhammad Ali loved Jack Johnson. And for those who don't know who Jack Johnson was the first African-American heavyweight champion.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I was thinking Jack Johnson, my favorite singer.
No. We're talking about the boxer. Yeah, well, Jack Johnson, he got popular too, the singer. But,
I knew it.
But Jack Johnson, the first African-American heavyweight champion, was very, very popular. And he crossed many racial, social norms at the time through segregation. And when he became the first African-American heavyweight champion, who Muhammad Ali loved, because Muhammad Ali loved his boldness, his brassness, his antics, and all of that. Muhammad Ali was the one when we were young who taught us about Jack Johnson, what he meant to the world at that time. When John L. Sullivan won the heavyweight champion, he drew what was known as drawing the color line in boxing.
Johnson was just a tank, though. He was just a tank.
Yes.
And
he got caught up because he married, his first wife was black, but because of the social norms, he had married, after he got a divorce from his first wife, he had married a white woman at that time. And because who he was, interracial marriages like that and prayed in and started because who he was, it was a social norm.
Mm-hmm.
So the FBI and those pondered up a case for him for paying for a ticket for the woman who ended up being his wife, and they drew up what's called the Mann Act to take from Pittsburgh to Chicago. They drew up the Mann Act, which was take a white woman across state lines to do immoral things to them. And this is why Donald Trump, with Sylvester Stallone, myself, the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, all of us fought so hard because for many, many years, they said that Jack Johnson was going to have a part. Now, an interesting story about Jack Johnson was that not only during that time while he was in jail, he wrote his own part in the Woodrow Wilson.
Oh.
And they say the twists and turns that the Wheels of Justice takes, it may take a while, but it never stops spinning and it never stops turning. And it didn't stop until Bush, Obama, a lot of them down the line, Clinton, they wouldn't pardon him. But Donald Trump, he took the nerve because he's a boxing guy.
Mm-hmm.
He said, all right, he's doing it, and he did it. And it's a blessing. He blessed the man in his grave, and hopefully that it was the rightful thing to do. And Jack Johnson in heaven, that he's smiling and he gets that reward.
Well, I see the Jack Johnson on your shirt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is part of the exhibit.
Looks like the album cover as well.
Yeah. And so, come on, Captain.
Another question for you. Now, all the times you were with Ali and training with Ali, did you ever get to spar with him?
Yes, I did.
So I'm actually sitting across the table from somebody who got to spar with Ali. That's pretty cool.
Me, my brothers, my sisters, all of us got a chance to climb in the ring and spar with us. Ali was a character while he was in there. And he would let us throw punches at him, and when we hit him, he'd fall out. He'd stagger around the ring and fall down and get
just
up.
to make you feel good, right?
Make you feel like dynamite, man. I got the a chance to chin check the greatest of all time. But that's the type of person that he was socially with many people, and people just love Muhammad Ali for all the things that he stood up for.
What was his real philosophy about boxing? Just win?
Well, he all the time used to say, he would always said he would find a way. An interesting story about Angelo Dundee, who lived here in Clearwater before he passed.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali, Angelo Dundee. Ali used to say when he fought Sonny Liston, he had complained about this burning in his eyes. He went to blinking. And when he came back to the corner, Angelo Dundee wiped his eyes out and pushed him back out there. And he told us then, he said, if it wasn't for Angelo, he said, I might not have been as great as I was, but he seen something in me and he made me go back out there and he pushed me. He said, but through all of that, you have to find a way. And he said that he was always able to find a way, even with the thrill in Manila, when Joe Frazier with Eddie Futch stopping the fight in the 15th round, in the 15th round, because the 14th round he wouldn't let him come out for 15th, is that Ali said Joe Frazier quit just before he quit. He was getting ready to give it up himself, but he said he found a way, and that's what he's always been able to do.
Find a way.
Wow.
Yeah,
Find a way.
Good philosophy to have. You know, I'm a failure's not an option kind of guy myself.
Yeah.
So,
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we have minor setbacks, but failure never. You always have to keep knocking on it and always find a way of what you're doing.
See, I'm a fighter too. My fighting is different. It's judo, but I have been in the boxing ring twice. Okay.
Okay.
And I was kind of. I started when I was 7. I wouldn't take a second place trophy. I don't want to look at someone who tells me I lost ever.
Right.
Okay. And so I only took first place trophies, and I took a lot of them. But you know, the thing about Ali, you know, is he just, with that philosophy, and my headsets aren't working anyways. But with that philosophy that he had of just never, you know, I had that in fighting, and I was a bouncer for like 20 years too. So I've had a lot of fights. But
yeah.
The one that I was in the ring on was the Golden Gloves champion for Tampa at the time.
Okay.
Now, quick story. I'll make it quick. I was a bouncer for years. I had a guy. I walked into a bar that I did not work at anymore. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a guy go, I'm going to kick your, and I'm going to kick your, and I'm going to kick your, to 3 very big bouncers. And I'm not a big guy. And all of a sudden I see this guy hit this guy and flies across the floor, knocked out. Hits another guy, flies across the floor, knocked out. Hits the third guy, knocked out. Oh, and when he said it to him, he turned to me and he said, I'm going to kick your, and I went like, what? I don't even work here. These guys are in tuxes. Okay. But he felt I was a threat. And he swung at me, and I grabbed his fist and I threw him in the air and I put him on the ground, and I had him in a headlock. Now, I did not know that this was a Golden Gloves champion at the time. Here's how it worked. My buddy, who's another bouncer at another bar that was with me that night, got a hold of him, and they had boxing night at this other bar that I was at.
Okay.
And I didn't remember the guy because it's 6 months later. Okay. And the guy walked into the ring and he had a bag that said Golden Gloves. And I wanted to see what it was like to fight as a boxer by their rules. And for every one time I hit this guy, okay, I got hit with a barrage. I can't even tell you. I remember going to my corner, and I remember a guy, my buddy was with me. It was in my corner, and he goes, now, here's what he wanted to say. Tommy, this is a setup. Use judo. Okay. They wanted to see me do it live on the mat.
Uh-huh.
And I said, no. But what I heard, I understood what he said, but what I heard was, I had a concussion. Okay. I got hit so much. They made a poster of the fight night because I hit this guy once and he went down. And he was the champion for Florida, heavyweight.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
And Captain, let me tell you something. This weekend, you have the USA Martial Arts Hall of Fame here in St. Pete.
That's cool.
And Jim Thomas, I'm inducted in there, Jim Thomas, and I'm going to talk to Jim since you're like that, and you just told me a wonderful story about you being there, and I would talk to him to see if he can review your bio
cool. Yeah.
to see if he can maybe not this weekend, but at some point to get you into the USA martial arts. Khalila, she's in there.
Okay.
Muhammad Ali's in there. Me and her went in at the same time, and I was telling people that she was the one who introduced us to martial arts. She was a sensei when I was a kid, and she was training us, the kids and all of us. So that's how I got my experience in mixed martial arts back then.
Wow.
And if you remember, Muhammad Ali fought a martial arts guy in Japan. The guy stayed on his back all night and was kicking his legs out from him. So, terrific story, Captain. Martial arts and boxing, it goes hand in hand.
I went up to the guy at the end, and this is the last of it, and because I actually had to go outside first. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And because I was sick from a concussion.
Right.
Okay. And I came back in and I walked up to the guy and I said, I want to tell you that was beautiful. I said, there's nothing I could do with your rules in this ring to win. There was nothing I could do. It was a barrage. I knocked him down, but I mean, the points were just ridiculous.
Right.
And he said, listen, he goes, I hit you with everything I had for 8 rounds. You just kept looking at me.
Yeah.
And he goes, if you ever trained to be a boxer, he said, you'd annihilate people. And I went, I have a concussion.
Well, you took a licking and you know how to keep on ticking. You're like Timex. You wiggle and wobble, but you don't fall down. and that's what great fighters are able to do.
But see, I respect Ali because he was that guy. I guarantee if somebody would have ever beat the tar out of him, he'd walk in with, that was beautiful. I mean, that's the kind of guy he was. And, but that's how I feel about him. I mean, I didn't get to meet him. I wish I could. But, I will tell you this, when he passed away, I was in tears.
Yeah. A lot of people were. He meant so much.
Well, you also have some other memorabilia that you brought along.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. This is a magazine that me and Shell we made this year. It is the color during segregation because African Americans couldn't fight in the mainstream of boxing. There was a world colored league or heavyweight championship. So all of those from Sam Langford, Jack Johnson, those great African Americans that were champions of this colored league is in this magazine.
Oh,
and,
cool.
and this is part of the Black History Month thing that we do to make awareness of those that may have not got enough credit, and to keep people aware of just things that go on that may slip, and that they are part of boxing history, and that they should get the credit that it has. And this is a bigger poster that we put on with that.
So, have you wrote a book about your life yet? With all this memorabilia?
Yeah, a lot of people ask me about that. And during that league, Jack Johnson was king of it all. when he went into mainstream boxing, when he heard Burns from Canada say that he was taking on all comers. He chased Burns around the world until he caught up with him in Australia. They made the match in Sydney, Australia, the day after Christmas, called Boxing Day. Not because it was a Boxing Day, but because it's a European holiday that they just happened to have the fight that day, and he became the first African American heavyweight champion of the world by stopping Burns. But they cut the film off. The police ran in the ring and cut the fight, and they would not show that film of that fight for ages.
Wow.
Around about maybe 10 years ago, they just released it on there where people could see it now. But that's how much the vision that was made and what it meant, because when he won the championship, it rang across the world that an African American named Jack Johnson has just won the heavyweight championship, and it caused major riots in cities in the United States.
Now I see your hat. It says Jack Johnson 1908.
Yes.
Tell us about that hat.
Well, this hat we use part of the exhibit.
Okay.
And this is representing him. When the date he won it was 1908, or when he won the championship. But guess what, Dawn?
What do you got?
I told
He's
you
got
we're
some
going
more
to bring
stuff.
some memorabilia stuff.
Oh my
These
God.
are Jack Johnson's trunks here.
That's
yes.
cool.
So you can take the picture with it.
I would think he was a bigger guy.
Yeah, he was bigger. You know, you're talking that's over 100 and some years.
His waist, Don, it
Yeah.
wasn't the big.
Here,
it was the
that's-
chest. It was the arms. It was the shoulders.
This is
That's
this
cool.
is the picture to that. We'll have you take picture with
Oh
that
my God.
later on. I told you I would bring this. Now there
This
was
is phenomenal. So who ended up doing his attire? Like, was there a special seamstress or a
no? Jack Johnson was
he
was a dapper dresser. Jack was.
Like, who made these? Do you know? Like, was there a special person that made his attire, or like a designer, like these?
No, I don't know. I
Okay.
have no knowledge of that. But
Wow.
but Jack Johnson was known for his dapper dress. And
I see that.
He wore most of his stuff was tailor made. Back then, you had a lot of seamstress and things like that that made his clothes. He was a dapper dresser.
And how did you get this?
Well, in North Carolina, where I got a grant, where he died at,
Okay.
his car sat there for years.
Wow.
And a lot of stuff that was in the car, we end up, it was given to us.
Oh, wow.
So part of that. So we interviewed the last people that were at the scene of the accident.
Okay. Tell people about the accident, because people don't know about that. They're like, wait, what accident? I'm learning history here.
Yeah, and it was 1946. As he used to do all the time, he used to go be a part of circuses. He had an act, and he was coming from Texas. And at the time, you didn't have all of these major highways in 1946. You had to come across the bottom to get through Route 1. You know, 95, it wasn't like 95 as we think. You had to go up old Route 1 and go through all of these little towns. And these little towns that we went through, he was coming through Route 1 in Franklinton, North Carolina. And he had a companion with him, now hired driver. And they were coming through a squiggly road, and they lost control of the car. The car went around the curb and hit a pole, and he ended up dying on the scene. But this is the stuff. At the time, he was 68 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, young.
Yeah.
But
I've been on that road on a motorcycle, the Highway 1 up there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gorgeous. But yeah.
It's bad. But also, the Mann Act, what we talked about earlier, why he was in there, he invented a wrench in there. and most people know of it from a derogatory term called the monkey wrench.
Right.
This is the wrench that he invented while he was in jail.
No
Really?
way.
Mm-hmm.
I've used
Oh my gosh.
an adaptation of that many times.
So tell. Oh, wow. Okay, Jack Johnson was an inventor of the wrench. So what do you think of that? Called the monkey wrench. Oh my gosh, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's history there.
And all this when we go up to Muhammad Ali's training camp in Deer Lake. Now, these are things that we were taught when we were young about him, and God blessed us to run into those things. But our exhibit, part of the museum at Muhammad Ali's camp, Mike Madden, he restored Muhammad Ali's camp in its original form. So there's a lot of artifacts of Muhammad Ali in the training camp, and there's a big piece of anthracite coal that Muhammad Ali put in with all these other great fighters. But this anthracite coal rock has Jack Johnson's name on it.
Interesting.
That Muhammad Ali put up there. That's the love that he had for Jack Johnson.
Wow, what an amazing history story.
And we have some pictures in the book, but I'm going to give you, this was a official Muhammad Ali water bottle that was given to me. Yeah. And this here is what Muhammad Ali signed in 1974, his hand wraps to us. And that's located here in the book that we have. And I'll show you the.
So how is this wrapped? This is wrapped differently. Like what kind of?
Yeah, it's a real bottle. So what they used to do back in the day, you know how a bottle chips in case it falls down, they would put tape like that over it. So in case it fell or chipped, the water it wouldn't go in the water in the bottle. So they would keep it like that. But over here,
wow.
Over here, what I'm going to show you here.
Well, Juan, if you have any questions, jump in. If you have anything about Muhammad Ali or anything about what we're talking about, we'd love to hear your comment.
Wow, that's nice. I mean, that's very interesting.
Now, this here are at the camp where Ali's putting these rocks that I talked about in the training camp over here. That's him helping the guys put the rocks into the camp.
Oh, interesting.
That's around the training camp. And
well, after the show, I want to do a quick video on this. This would be
Do you have
phenomenal.
anything to do with the training camp now? Is it still there?
Yeah. Mike Madden, John Madden's son, bought it and he restored it. That's what these historical documents, when we got it put on the historical roster of the in Pennsylvania, we did. And it's still, people come near, take tours and everything of those great days. Now it's called the Fighters Heaven.
Is there still training going on there, all?
Yeah, the kids come there all the time and train and go through the museum. They have film footage and all of that.
Is there any kind of like for kids who are from the wrong side of the tracks or whatever that come in? Is there any kind of charity that people can donate to through you guys?
Oh, absolutely.
What would that be?
They through Mike Madden and them, they handle all of that at the camp with Mick.
So how can they contact the camp?
All they have to do is look it up online. The Fighters Heaven.
The Fighters Heaven.
Yeah. Mick Stefanik, he's the camp manager. You talk to Mick. You can go through tours. They have corporate getaways. They have a multimedia room and all of that.
It would be a really good educational experience to see how and why, and what they lived in.
Yeah, this is a picture
it located again?
In Deer Lake, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Right there, if you see, that's a picture of the mosque that Muhammad Ali built. And the cabins, some of the cabins up there in the front picture that he built up there. And then you can see at the camp, this is Gene Kilroy with him, who is from that area, who was his longtime business person with Muhammad Ali. personal business person, Louis Soria, Boudini Brown. These were, along with Angelo Dundee, were his trainers. But these are pictures from when Muhammad Ali defeated George Foreman. This was a poster, him and Joe Frazier when they fought, and then his book, The Greatest. Just stuff like that.
Yes, Muhammad Ali has that right now for sale.
And this is the autograph part of The Greatest of All Time, Muhammad Ali signed. I have the book that he signed for me. This is The Rock that were in the training camp. These are newspaper articles about when Ali was living. We were trying to get it put on the historic roster at the time, but it didn't have enough time where you needed. It had like 18 years. It needed 25 years, so we couldn't do it. This is a sign of, they used to, when Ali first got up there, they used to say, give a couple dollars, and Ali used to take the money and give it away to people.
I got a question. Where's your name? Cassius Clay. Did he ever use Cassius when talking about himself after he changed his name, or did he was it just Muhammad Ali from that point on?
From that point on, when he made,
I didn't know if it was like a stage name.
No, it wasn't a stage name. He took what is called in Islam, Kalima Shahada, that he bear witness of the oneness of God in his messengers and his angels, all the way from Abraham, including Jesus, including Moses, all of them, including Muhammad. That once he did that, and his name was given to him by Elijah Muhammad, he went on and lived by it and practiced Islam. A lot of charity work is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. And he practiced that 5 pillars of Islam. Matter of fact, in a week or so, Ramadan, the fasting month for Muslims, is fastly coming up upon us. This is The Rock with Don King that he had, and with Greatest there, and there's Ali messing with him. How did
those two meet? Do you know the story?
Yeah.
Don King?
Yeah. Don King was introduced to Muhammad Ali by a singer.
Really?
Yeah. And that's how he met
Don King
Ali.
is a character.
Oh, well, he's still a character.
Yeah, still a character.
That's my man. Many people don't like him, but you're talking about greatness. He knows how to shake it up, twist it up, and he is still at this age at 93 years old.
If he makes you want to turn the TV on and watch him,
you want to listen to what he got to say.
Yeah.
Now, this is here at the National Boxing Hall of Fame. This is me when I went in with Muhammad Ali, Boudini Brown, Jerry Quarry, Foley, Chavallo, and the list is long. Find it. And Boudini Brown, that's Ali when he went in. I went in the National Boxing Hall of Fame when they went in. What a deed honor to go in with a class like that.
So much history.
Okay, I got one more question. I really want the heartfelt answer on this one. What's your favorite Ali memory? Because you kind of grew up with him. What's your favorite memory? The one biggest one.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this is when we first met him.
Go ahead.
When we first met Muhammad Ali, they were just getting ready to build the camp. And all they had was like maybe a cabin at that time. What do they call a trailer home where they would stay? So what Ali did, he called me and my brother. Now there's 10 of us.
Wow.
And 8 of us were there at the time of my family. And he bring us in the trailer and he says, okay, I'll be right back. Came back. He had a briefcase full of money. He opened it up and put it on the bed. And we're all looking at each other, and he left out of the room. And he stayed out of the room for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And then he came back into the room after this long period of time. In the meantime, me and my brothers and us, we're just looking at each other. What's all this about? So he sat on the bed. He started counting the money. So he counted all the money.
And
He
it was
said,
all there.
"Man,"
And it was all there.
Yeah, he said, "Man, y'all are from the projects, and you telling me to tell me you niggas don't steal? You from the projects?" And she said, "I want to see your mother." So he came up in the projects, and he told my mother, he said, "I want to buy you the biggest, prettiest house around here." And my mother said, "No, we ain't doing anything for you to be buying this big old fancy house anywhere." He said, "No, I want to buy it." He said, "You mean to tell me you don't want it?" My mother said, "No, the good Lord took care of us up to the day." And my mother said, "The good Lord will take care of us the rest of the way." She said, "Keep your money because one day you're going to need it." And from that period of time, we were allowed to come. He would, I don't care where we were at, he would always tell us to tell me, my brothers, and us to come on in to be with him, at different events and things like that.
Right.
Wherever we were at, wherever we met up with. And you see how Kalila,
Yes.
who was his wife at the time, she's the same way. His family, his kids, all of them have always accepted me and my brothers and sisters, all of us, to be around him like that. It was the Jews.
Paul Murray, he was the photographer to the Stars and major artist when he introduced me to the Jackson family and the James Brown family that I worked for. And, just meeting him, and he told me about Mama Ali a couple of years back, I don't know, 8 years ago. And she drove over with Mr. Murray here, and she has had my back. I've had her go to film festivals that I couldn't make it. She would report for me, and she would have everyone going, Hollywood Connections. And she was phenomenal, in helping me out. And I can't wait for her to come back and do another book signing.
I want to tell you really quick, your story with Ali and how you first met. You don't get to hear those stories every day.
No.
You really don't get to hear those stories. Not anymore.
No.
No.
And it's something special. But you mentioned Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. Well, the Jackson 5 came to Muhammad Ali's camp.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And when they came there, Muhammad Ali had them call my family up so we could be with Michael Jackson.
Wow.
And Michael Jackson stayed at our house in the projects.
Interesting.
Yeah, he came and hung out with us, him and his brother and all that.
I could see that Michael would have been inspired by Ali. I can see that he must have been.
Because we were around the same age. He was, Michael was around about 14, 15 years old. That's how old I was at the time. And all of us just hung out together and had a good time. And who the host was, who was bringing everybody together, was Muhammad Ali.
That makes a lot of sense.
So a lot of those pictures you see, Muhammad Ali in the ring with Michael Jackson and him. Well, we were all there when them pictures were taken.
Well, Mr. Murray took me to Mr. Jackson's home.
Yeah.
And I didn't believe him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm the family honors." And then I got to meet Joe at his birthday party in Vegas, and took very good care of us. And it was phenomenal. If you go to YouTube and Dawn Reese show, Joe Jackson, you'll see me as a young reporter interviewing Mr. Jackson back in the days. Yeah.
Yeah. Joe was something special, later on, Joe, when I went to Vegas, Joe used to hang out with me all the time too, from remembering that. But I was with Don King at the time when Don King did the Jackson tour. Remember that?
Right, yeah.
When he when the Jacksons went out and split out individual talent.
Right.
And Don King was the one who bring them all back together for that Jackson tour. So yeah, there's a lot of history with that with Don King.
I know it's 5:55. We kind of had like a little warning on the phone here, which was good. It's like a countdown. It's all good. It was a countdown for us. And with your partner that you brought over here, I know I want to add you. Is there anything you want to talk about? Or any memories of your life, or with your, tell everybody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. First, I want to apologize for being late. If anybody lives in Florida, you absolutely know that the traffic is so unpredictable. So
traffic is really strange. I had a hard time getting here.
No, this is just a great opportunity to keep boxing alive. And as you heard, my great uncle was Jersey Joe Walcott.
Tell everybody like in the new era, like these younger generations, they don't know who that is. Explain who that was.
Jersey Joe Walcott was a heavyweight champion, and this was when I was very young. And pretty much in New Jersey, he's a historian in his own right as well in New Jersey. My family just had a nice bronze statue erected on the Camden waterfront, and in the backdrop is the Philadelphia city line.
Wow.
So if I have some pictures that I can show you after, but it's just an honor to be able to have memories of things like boxing.
Right.
It's in my blood, and obviously it's in Aaron's blood,
Right.
and here we are to talk about it.
Well, is there a social media, Aaron? And so for your, we didn't break the bottle, did we?
No.
Nope, that's why there's tape on it.
The tape bottle. Come on,
That's why there's
lady.
tape on that
That's
bottle.
what I need. Did Dawn break the bottle? And I know we have new carpeting in here as well. And then we got 3 minutes to go. Juan is saying, I'm like, oh, please, Lord, I didn't break the bottle. No, it's good. It's good.
Well, Dawn, with 3 minutes to go, and I don't mean to interrupt your show, and I know the captain's over there, and thank you for having us on your show, Dawn.
You'll have to go on his show as well.
Absolutely, Captain. I'll
it's
come
all guys.
on your
I want to
show.
come on the all-girls show.
Oh, yeah.
Mine's going to be a lot of
I
fun.
want to do
I want
that.
to talk to you about that.
Yeah, and you know, next week, February 2nd at Muhammad Ali's training camp. Now the fighters have it. We will have a celebration for Black History Month, and it's free to the public.
Oh, wow.
You can come there. We have food, soul food, and different other cuisines that are there, and it's all free. We've been doing that along with Mike Madden and the Madden family and the city of around Pottsville, where I'm from, which is the home of Yingling Beer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Dick Yingling and Yingling Beer, you know, in that area, the NAACP, the WBC, the IBF, the WBA, all of them boxing organizations helps support us with this endeavor. Many champions, promoter Murad Muhammad, who promoted Muhammad Ali at one time, who got to start with Muhammad Ali. He will be there, 2-time heavyweight champion.
I know we
Tim
were talking about
Witherspoon.
bringing some more people to the show that was with us
absolutely.
over there.
Yeah.
That'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, there's going to be call-in opportunities for fighters and people in boxing to show their appreciation, their love, to celebrate Black History Month and all the contributions that all of those, such as these champions, Muhammad Ali, and those that may not have been recognized. Just a moment for everybody to get together, because it's indeed a moment when you do something like that, the greatest of all time. What he did, he bring people together from all phases and walks of life.
Right.
And
I know
he
we
didn't
have
matter
30
what
seconds. That is awesome. I do have to do a PSA real quick on Tuesday. If you need a job over at Raymond J. Stadium on the 18th, I have a friend, Stephanie, that has put this together. And there's going to be so many employers, and bring your resume about 9:00. I'll be there reporting. And everybody, thank you, Juan, so much for doing the show today. And we have more Miracle Stories next week. We have a woman show coming up. That's going to be every other week with a bunch of ladies. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be super fun. And I'm Dawn Reese with Hollywood Connections and Miracle Stories right here at the TAN Talk Radio Network.
A true blue spectacle, a miracle come true.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.